Hi friends, today we are going to paint these beautiful watercolor bookmarks together. I recommend preparing 4 bookmarks from watercolor paper. I simply cut mine from a larger sheet. On my palette I have mixed some yellow paint with plenty of water to create a transparent wash, and I am starting with the first petal. Next, I add a touch of orange along the edges of the petal. If you don't like how the paint is spreading, you can gently lift or soften it with a clean, dry brush until you are happy with the result. Once the first petal is completely dry, we apply a second layer, repeating the same steps. I've painted just 3 petals and I think that's enough. You can always add your own creativity here and experiment a bit with your design. Now I'm using a regular sheet of paper just to practice painting the stems I like. I'm trying straight lines, more curved ones, and wavy shapes. Once I'm happy with them, we can add them to our bookmark. On my bookmark there are 3 flowers, but you can add more or fewer depending on your preference. For the next bookmark design, I am using a light blue color, also diluted with plenty of water. We are going to paint roses in a cool tone, but I think many of you will really like this style. I simply add the petals one by one and then I use a darker, more saturated color to define the petals, making our bookmark more interesting and expressive. Once you've added as many roses as you want to your bookmark and played around with the composition, we can start adding the stems and leaves. The second bookmark is finished, so let's move on to the next one. I'm starting this design with pink paint. It will look more like cherry blossoms. Each flower has 5 petals. If you don't like something in your painting, you can always redefine the flowers using the same color once the first layer has dried. Now I'm adding the center of the flower with a darker shade and using yellow to add small dots as pollen on our blossoms. We can also add more details like flower buds on the branches using both lighter and darker shades of pink. And here is our third bookmark finished. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like and leave a comment.